joined. I know it's a bit late, but developer are only those who work on the night. So we love working in the night, and it's a special session, not like boring session. We are going to stream GitHub Codespaces. So we are going to stream the GitHub Universe keynote by the GitHub CEO, and we'll learn about introduction about the GitHub Codespaces, which is new developer tool for the developers, and it's going to change your developer life. Like if you we have a special guest here, Akash Uday. He's from Beta MLSA from Bangalore, and he will going to he'll guide you regarding the GitHub plus GitHub Codespaces, and just roving around how things goes. And after that, we're going to start the GitHub watch party. Please uh, stay with us for stay at the end till the end of the session, because we are giving up some of the cool incentives who is active participant. So stay with us, and over to you, Akash.
Okay, so let me just share my screen first. Just 1 second.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Uh, so guys, as I said, I'm Akash today. I'm from Bangalore Institute of Technology. So this, I want to keep a hands-on session. So it's better you guys turn on your laptops. I think most of you are joined by a laptop, but it's better you guys turn on your laptops right now. So I'll just give a very brief introduction. Okay. So till then you guys can turn on your laptops and be ready. So why GitHub Spaces, all that and all, okay? It's like code spaces, why? So you guys might have heard of Docker. Okay, maybe no, okay, no need to understand what is Docker, but you guys might at least have heard of it, right? So basically what Docker does is, it is a small piece of software. Okay, more better, in better terms, it's a small piece of whatever libraries or whatever you require to run a code. Okay, example for it might maybe a let's see React. You guys, you can download React libraries, right? Like using npm React. So in Docker, you can actually just, instead of downloading it, you can just have a piece of code that might be able to run React. Okay. So something like that. So you might not understand it fully, but as we proceed, it'll be very easier for you guys to understand. And so guys, let us start. I'm assuming you guys have turned on, so just head on over to GitHub. So I'm assuming you guys have created an account or you guys have an account. If you don't have, guys, it just take 2 minutes, not more than that. Just create an account. Now, due to the time constraint, I'll not be waiting. I'm just going to go forward. Later, you can come view the meeting. And if you guys have any doubts or something, you can ask anyone in MLSA, or you can even contact me. Fine. So this is how the homepage, my homepage, but you guys might have a different homepage. So guys, first what I want you guys to do is create an repository. Okay, so how do you do that? Here, plus button over here, plus button, new repository. Fine. And just give a random name, like I'll just name it test MLSA. Fine. A random name, and add a README file template. So guys, we'll be doing a very small, like not even a website. Okay, fine, a website, a very small website on Node, using Node. Fine, it's a very basic website. It's just for you to show you guys, it's like to help you guys understand what GitHub Codespaces is all about. Fine. So basically, I've created a README file and I've created a repository. Fine. So see, the repository has been created. Now the question is, how do you guys go to Codespace? Okay, so you see the green color button over here called code, and here Codespaces. All you guys have to do is go here, press the plus button. Fine. So guys, if I'm going fast at any point or you guys have any doubt, you can just put it in the chat box so I can see it. Fine. So plus. So guys, about GitHub Codespaces, this will take some time. So let me just tell you guys something. Okay, it just came. So guys, every day, I think no, per month you guys have 60 hours free. If you're not a MLSA or something related to Microsoft, you have 60 hours free per month. And some more things. Yeah, so you guys actually might uh, Let me just delete this container. Guys, just hold on. You guys might have not gotten everything like this. I'm sorry about that. Give it options. Yeah, so sorry guys. So I had already, I already used Codespaces, and due to this reason, I directly went to the VS Code. But you guys, as soon as you press G, you might have gotten something like this. Okay. So this 100% you guys might have gotten this. Uh, so guys, after this, what you guys need to do is just check branch main. If you have created more than one branch, fine. If you don't understand branches, what is that all about? Just leave it at main, because now we can't explain what everything about GitHub is, but once keep this video. Once you learn like even the basics, you can come back to this, no worries. But for now, just do what I do. Fine. Keep this at main region Southeast Asia, and machine type keep it at 2 core. Okay, fine. So when you're working for companies, if you just like increase a course, now 4 cores are there, but there were 16 cores before. This will just do is increase the pricing. Okay, fine. And this is we'll be building such a small project, so 2 cores are more than enough. Fine. Create code space. So yeah, so it's creating a code space. So basically, guys, as I told, this is a Docker image, or basically an image. No need Docker, it's just an image where it gives you essential piece of software or code where you can run your project. Fine. Okay. So you guys can see a VS terminal kind of thing has opened. You guys might have your offline VS code on your local host, right? Local computers. So the difference is, of course, yeah, you can run this on a browser and all that. There is a very, good question when like some people have asked online. Before there was an option where you could press Control and B and directly go to VS Code on your GitHub. What's the difference between that and this? So guys, that you could only make changes and run a basic HTML file or a HTML CSS file. Okay. So advantage of this is even backend, you can run backend programs like example Python you can run, maybe with Node, anything you can run. That includes connection with Mongo, setting up environmental variables, everything over here. Fine. That's the main difference. So guys, I think everything is done over here. Yeah. So now what I want you guys to do is go to the command palette because we are doing some settings over there. Fine. So I want you guys to press this 3-line button over here. Go to view, command palette. Now I want you guys to enter a command which is called as let me just check it here. Configure dev container. Configure dev container features. So it's called as container configure dev container features. Yeah. So you get this add files. So what do you guys want to do? So see, there are hundreds of things where these are small pieces of software, or what do you say, small pieces of code which will help you run your whole software or code. Yeah. So for example, let me just search for Node. Fine. Let's see. Node and Azure, right? Everything with Azure, right? MongoDB. And okay, so as I told, we'll be developing a very basic website. So why not we just choose Node.js and JavaScript, the third one over here. Okay, and what do we want here? So it's asking which version of Node do we want. Okay, so 18 is the latest, but I will go with 16 because it's better to just go with 16. Okay, now this is the third thing. What are the features you want to install is this? So it might be things like example, you can download, sorry, yeah. So you can have a Docker in Docker, you can have a dev container, or you can have a Git. But Git generally is inbuilt in this. So it doesn't really, you don't really require Git. Okay, fine. But just in case you want, just put a Git CLI over here, or else it's not required. Fine. Once you finish this, okay. So you can see code time has come here because it's there in my local drive and I've synced it at some point of time. So just ignore everything. So guys, I have installed what do you say, Node.js, the configuration files, right? So as soon as I come over here, it'll ask me to restart it once. You might have just seen a pop-up which I just got. See here. So you guys have to rebuild this again. So that because you just, you have got the image of it. Dude, you have to double click on my face. You have to double click on my Rutuja, you have to double click. Can everyone see it on doubles? Does everyone have this problem or because then I can just change it.
I can't see clear.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess your screen was like the ratio of your you have the ratio you have set in the OBS was incorrect. You have to set the but but in the Teams your half screen will be displayed like
But now it is clear.
Now it's clear.
yeah.
Was it a data connection
But
problem?
still,
So
but yeah, I guess, but still you have to like the whole screen is not visible.
okay, so I'll just
There are
share it
cutout.
normally.
There
Yeah.
are there are cutouts from the
Okay, I'll just share my screen normally then.
yeah.
This will take just 1 minute. Okay. Yeah, you can see my screen.
Yeah.
I'll just change my some settings and I'll be right back. Yeah, better. I guess now it's better.
No, your screen is not visible.
Screen is not visible.
Your screen is visible.
It's visible.
It is visible, guys.
Yes, it is visible.
Yes.
Now it's clear, right?
Okay, okay. Then it's my glitch. Like
Okay,
okay,
so
cool.
guys, till here it's
Go ahead.
clear, right? So till here what I did was clear. We just have to set up a container. So basically we have done is we have set up an image. You want to code on Python, so you just have to go back here. Okay, not in this, but I've already selected the image, but you know, go to selection. I'll just do a quick recap. I went to view over here, command palette, or else control shift P shortcut. I went to configure dev container features. Fine. Here, okay, this I have already added image, so I'm not getting the option, but I added Node and JavaScript. Fine. And here you want any CLI if you want, you can select any, or else, yeah, just good. We are all good to go. So guys, we are on now. See, once you have, added your image or your container, so you have to rebuild it once. You might have got a pop-up. If not, press this bell icon over here and just rebuild it. It'll take some time. And generally, if you're doing this the first time, it'll take a way longer time. Like for me, the first time it took me like 4 minutes or something. So we'll just wait by the time it builds. So all we are going to do now, guys, is as we know, Node. So we'll install the necessary libraries. And once we do a very simple, what do you say, a website, like a very simple, no HTML, just one H1 tag will be like hello world. That's all fine. So this will give you a basic understanding of how, very basic understanding of how images and containers work. Because, you might mostly be using it on Docker also in some days. Because, everywhere it's Kubernetes and Docker. So you guys will be learning it for sure. But this is the basic um, concept of Docker. Fine. Let this finish building.
Till then, guys, if you have any questions, you can raise
Yeah,
your
yeah. So because I
hands
just went a
and we
bit
can
far,
just
yeah,
continue. Yeah,
I went a bit fast. So if you guys have any question, just
and
fire
it's
up.
okay, and it's okay, guys, if
Uh,
you ask like what is GitHub, like, and you
Can
can
I get
start from the what is
study
GitHub.
material
Yeah.
from?
I didn't get you. Can you just repeat? If someone asked a question.
Can I get study material from this website?
Study materials. So you can refer to docs. It's not like GitHub. Okay, I just have this at the moment, but there are docs for Codespaces. But if you're new to GitHub, I assure you it'll be very hard for you to understand. It's better you go on YouTube and search for it. That'll be better, I feel.
So,
Okay.
guys,
Okay. Thank.
recently at a time of Hacktoberfest, I have given a session on GitHub and from the scratch. So I'll suggest you to like go and check out like MLSC BSIOTR, and you have the all the GitHub. Like I have made a two videos on GitHub, and those are we really like beginner friendly, so you'll get all the ideas like GitHub, what is GitHub, and after that how to pull requests and everything you want to know. And although this
So
code spaces session is
yes.
going to uh, is recording, so you can come just directly come back, and after that you can just continue the session, right? Okay. So I'll just adding the session. I'll adding the link in the chat box and you can turn on. Okay,
Yeah,
Akash, you can go ahead.
Dev, I have added it.
Okay, okay, okay.
perfect. Okay, so guys, I'm assuming you guys have reached till here. So some more changes over here. Then I'm going to go to environmental variables. Let's try to go a bit fast now. So guys, over here you have reached this page. So there are some features like this page is where you add the ports, the extra features which you want, all that kind of stuff. Okay, because in as we are making an image, so you can specify a different file for that. Okay, so the only important thing at the moment over here is this line, this piece of line over here. All you got to do is select it, control backspace, I mean backslash. Okay, so you get something like this, or just remove this comment over here, that's all. So you can see a squiggly line, that's because yeah, okay, so a comma over here. Yeah, so perfect. So which port? Let's take 4000, fine for now, nothing else. 4000, and yeah, and this one over here, and this one also is important, comma. And I guess, guys, yeah, we are all ready to go. Everything's saved. So one good advantage of this is it automatically saves stuff. But just in case you want to do, you can press Control S. But everything saves stuff automatically over here. Guys, one keynote, one very good keynote. If you exit this, like I go press your X, your this thing, code space will be gone. Your files will not be saved. Okay. So that is one very good reason why you should know about Git. Okay. So you can use Git terminal. From terminal also you can push changes, all that on GitHub. But at the moment I'll show you a easier way. But I recommend you guys not to use this on your long run, because Git has a lot of options, a lot of features. He has sent a video already in the chat. Please refer that once you exit this session. Here, this is known as source control or Git. Okay, so this is just a extension by VS only. Fine. So I want you guys, so you guys are here. So no changes have been committed, nothing. I press X button, everything is gone. Okay, till now. I want you guys to go to over here. Fine. Add a commit message like my first commit. Fine. But add a meaningful message. This is just my first commit. So I'm just putting that. You can just write, added an image or something. Commit. Thing changes. Okay. Done. So you might not see any changes over here, but go back to your main file, the main where you created the repository over here. You can see a new file has been added. Yeah, you just have to go to it, refresh this. So that's done. Now, okay, so that all is done. So we can start making we can start firstly, I want you guys to install some necessary packages. Fine. How do you do that? For that, we will require the terminal. There are two ways to go to a terminal over here. Either you can go here and go to terminal, new terminal, or else it's control plus tilde button. Okay, fine. So guys, here is one very important thing you guys need to know. There are some, this is running on there are some very, like a lot of environmental variables over here as it runs on a browser now. In this provides a lot of environmental variables. What do I mean is, you go back over here to the documentation. Let me just show you. So I just went to this link. It's, you just type GitHub Codespaces environmental variables. Okay. So see, these kind of things will be used in your long run. When you are making some front end, you're connecting to back end, all that kind of stuff. So these kind of things will be very useful. Okay. For example, GitHub user. Fine. Let me just copy paste it and let me just check it. Fine. Echo. Huh. So whenever you copy paste first time it'll ask you, allow it. I'm not sure. Wait, let's see. Yeah, see. So my username just came. So, username, you might not be able to do much, but sometimes for like you are using Firebase or something, sometimes you have to confirm it, like you are using VS from this machine. So sometimes you'll need your GitHub URL and all, your GitHub ID, most likely your GitHub ID. So for that and all, you can use it. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, fine. So this is about environmental variables, and now I want you to set an environmental variable. See over here, we went to port 4000, right? Over here, I don't want everyone to say this, right? So if you are a node developer or any developer of any chance, you have to add it in an environmental variable. How do I do that? Should I add it over here? No, that's not a proper way to do it. What I want you guys to do is go back to a repository. Fine. So I'm here. Go back to a repository. Go to settings. I just went to my repository. Went to settings. Go down. Go down. See the secrets over here. Over here. Codespaces. Fine. New repository secret and your repository name. So port, fine, port. The secret I want to host it on port 4000. Okay, fine, 5000, anything. But at the moment I want to host it on port 4000. So add a secret, alt. So basically you guys have added a environmental variable, fine, in your repository. So now you can see the Codespace secrets have been changed. Fine. Again, it's asking me to reload to apply. Fine. Why not reload? So this time it must take less time. Yeah. So guys, till now, if you have any doubts, any questions, you can just unmute your mic and ask. I'll just go through this once more if you want. No worries, but I want you guys to do it with me and understand the whole thing. Okay. So all this is done. Everything is done. You have established everything. So first, yeah, I guess someone's mic is
Uh,
on. Yeah, tell me.
I'm new. I'm new, and
Yeah, yeah.
I don't know what is this. So, what is my roadmap for this to prepare this?
Okay, so you're new. So basically, I tell you something. We are
I'm not
creating
a
a. Mhm.
I'm not a
Okay.
developer.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah, no
beginner.
worries. No worries. So basically what we are doing is we are creating a very small website. Okay. So we have to code a website somewhere, right? So we'll do it on something known as a IDE. Fine. Or what do you say? A text editor. So VS Code is a text editor. It's a very famous text editor. Okay. Now the thing is, the VS Code, you can't use it everywhere. Like, I mean, you might buy a new laptop and it might not be available on your laptop. Again, you have to download it, all that stuff. Or maybe you need to code Python sometime. Okay, fine. So you again have to download Python. Again, you have to, put in an environmental variable. There's a big process, right? So that's why there is something known as GitHub Codespaces where online only you can code stuff. Fine. It's easy to use. It does not consume a lot of your RAM. And it's like, not a lot of your CPU does not consume. And it's easier to use. That's the basic concept here. Fine. So you have any more doubts, like, or should I proceed? Okay,
Thank you.
I'll just proceed for now. But and why are we using GitHub? Like, to store is just, to store a code there. That's the only reason for at the moment. Fine. So till now I have finished over here. Now I will be creating I'll be adding some commands over here. npm init y. The y flag is, so everything is yes. Yeah, done. We got a package.json over here. And I want to add some more packages, to make our website run. So I want you guys to put npm express, and then we'll use a package called .env to get an environmental variables. So what is .env? A quick okay guys, so I'll just teach you what is environment over here, and I guess we might have to okay. Okay, so let me just go back, guys. There's a package called .env, so please make sure to check that out just for now. Okay, sorry, npm I install. Okay, we are running a bit late. So guys, I actually, Devesh, are we running a bit late? See,
Yeah, we what we can do, we can just wrap it up within a 5 minutes, or like
yeah,
we
fine.
can just start streaming the keynote.
Okay, guys, so 5 minutes. So guys, I want you to create two new files now. Index.js. How do I create files? Just a plus button over here. Guys, I'll be going a bit fast now, but don't worry. I'll send a very good video for you guys to understand. Yeah, I explained it very nicely. It's a 40-minute long video. It's the same. Fine. So I want
So
you
I
guys.
have question
Hmm,
like from all the participants, Akash.
hmm,
So just like for the summary, what is GitHub Codespace and how the developer can use it? Like
hmm.
what how the GitHub Codespace solves the bigger developer problem nowadays?
Okay, so GitHub Codespaces, basically it's Docker. Okay, fine. It's Docker. It's exactly Docker. Okay, Docker has some more features, but GitHub Codespaces is Docker. And what does Docker do is like you can't, might have a system, you can't download Ubuntu, fine. So what Docker does is it gets a small part of the Ubuntu where you can use it, run a code on it, and deploy it. That's basically what this is. So imagine you can't now we downloaded Node, right? Node. So imagine you can't download it on your computer for some reason. Maybe you don't have the required, stuff or something. So basically what Codespaces does is online, it's like okay, you can consider this as a small virtual machine also, fine. So it's like a virtual
Yeah,
machine where, you can run code and all that stuff.
it's a web-based VS Code. We can
Yeah,
just
yeah, web-based and it does more than web. Like, some years back they had web-based, like pure web-based, where you can run HTML, CSS editing you could do, but now you can even do backend stuff. That's the major point
yeah.
with it.
Guy, I understand. Like when we are going to like code for the Java, we want to like run the files first, and we have to set
Yes,
up the environment. But in the GitHub
exactly.
courses, we don't have to do it. We can just maybe download the extension and just name to the word like main.java or any kind of files,
Yes,
and we can just
that's all
start
you guys
coding
have
there.
to do. That's the
Cool.
most simple thing.
Yeah,
So for beginners, it's the best. Yeah,
yeah.
guys. So
So
I guess we can start with the.
yeah. So guys, I know that सबके ऐसे थोड़ा दिमाग से ऊपर जा रहा होगा everything was like but for if you like if you are too beginner in the GitHub like so I have attached two videos on the chat also I'm going to share with the community WhatsApp groups where you can just start from the scratch what is GitHub, how GitHub uses and how you collaborate with the other developers using GitHub and everything. Uh, with extension to that, this meet is going to record, so I'll just put it on the YouTube so you can watch it after that. After the those two videos are going after finishing those two videos. Now, what we are going to do is now I'm going to share stream like you grab a coffee or you can just munch or you can just get some of the chips with you and I'll just stream the GitHub keynote for half an hour or something, and we'll just enjoy the what we are going to do and we'll just share our plans for the GitHub universe. Okay, cool.
Guys, one more thing. You might feel
I'm
this.
sharing my window.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So you might feel that
please
this
please
is
go ahead.
boring or something, but guys, listen to me. He'll be telling what is the future, what are the upcoming trends and all those stuff. And most of you guys are from IS, CS, or maybe anything. It'll be very helpful for you. Make sure to listen to the whole thing. Okay, fine. And I guess Dave, you're telling them about MLSA by any chance?
What?
Are you telling them about MLSA also?
Yeah, yeah, we can just tell after last 15
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah,
So if you
yeah.
want
So
to
guys,
like,
stick around, stick around. Make sure to stick around for the whole thing, okay? So yeah,
yeah,
fine. I'll just stop sharing, okay?
is my screen visible, right? Anyone just tell me, is my screen visible?
Yeah, dude. It's
Yes,
crystal
yes.
clear.
Okay, cool. And the voice of the video is also clear now.
No, stream runs.
Is it?
We can't hear.
You can't hear now. I'll just
No.
reshare the screen.
Yes, yes, yes. It is visible.
It is visible, but it's not. I'll just include the computer sound. Okay. Cool. Now,
See, yeah, yeah,
are you
yeah.
able to hear this?
Yes,
Cool then.
yes, yes, yes.
Wow.
Woo! Good morning. Hello, GitHub universe. It's so great to be here in person. This is amazing. And a big hello to everyone watching remotely. I'm Thomas, and I'm a developer. And there's nothing better, nothing more energizing to me than being in a room full of developers. Like so many of you, through every stage of my life, my greatest passion has always been to build with code. It started in my childhood, writing simple programs in BASIC. And then in university, I was using SUSE Linux and Emacs. In my mid-20s, I was working in an automaker, and it was Windows PC and Visual Studio. And now, today, I think I'm still in my late 20s, it's all on GitHub. It's now a code space, spinning up on my iPad, even when I'm at the airport. So much has changed, and since the rise
Hey bro, you are muted. Someone in the meeting muted you.
ideas to the world,
Hello. What happened, bro?
Nothing. Someone in the meeting muted everyone. Start. Resume it.
and it's all of you together that have fueled this global economy. Now, let me share something very special. 10 years ago, for the very first time, we published the Octoverse and reported just 2.8 million developers on GitHub. 2.8 million. A year ago, we were at 73 million, and I'm more than thrilled that as of today, now 94 million developers call us their home. But despite how fast software development has advanced, despite how much we have all grown, how much GitHub has grown, there's even greater change just ahead. I believe we've arrived at the most significant turning point in the history of software development. And the past few years have made it clear we now live in a world fully eaten by software. Every day is punctuated from beginning to end through our interactions with software. From the moment in the morning your alarm goes off, to your commute and your day at work, and maybe you don't even have a commute anymore, to the second you set your alarm again to go to sleep, you cannot escape using software. And building, running, and maintaining all the software for the world has never been more complex. As a developer, you can't just build a great product anymore. You have to do it securely. You have to do it fast. And you have to build 100 times a day. And in all of this, developers are still expected to deliver the best creations of their life every single day. And as a developer myself, having to do all this work and stringing together or self-hosting all my own tools, sure as hell isn't something that I want. It's not solving my problems. It's not putting the developer first. We are at a breaking point, and it's time for a change. It's time to iterate and build a new developer experience. And it's no longer about how we can equip developers with the tools to do more for the sake of doing more. Now we must equip developers for everything they need to be at their best and to be happier. Right? That's what we want, be happy. Because developers do their best work where they can actually enjoy the work they want to do. When they have innovations that take the weight off, not add more, and when they have one integrated platform to do it all. One place that enables the flow state where the magic happens. And as the whole
Mute. It's mute, bro.
You're getting muted somehow, like suddenly.
Yes.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, the screen is visible, just like you're getting the video we can't hear.
Videos. You can hear the video now.
No. We
Okay,
could hear
okay,
it
just a
like
second.
2 minutes back, but something happened.
Just a second. Now,
For example, instead of
now,
us searching the
It's
web for
clear.
a
It's crystal
complicated
clear.
regular
Peace.
expression, we can simply type a comment that describes what you need and let Copilot do the rest. Or if we wanted to send a text message with Twilio, Copilot can the entire function that calls it, even if you've never used this API before. But the thing that amazes me the most is just how good Copilot is at understanding context, sometimes when you least expect it. Check this out. Here we have a P5.js canvas, and as we press tab, Copilot helps us to draw a greenhouse with a red door and a blue roof with 2 windows. But like, where did these specific colors even come from? If we scroll to the top of the file, we'll see that we wrote a comment describing the colors of each of these objects. Nothing gets past Copilot. This sort of behavior is why we refer to Copilot as an AI peer programmer, because its understanding of natural language and code gives you way more than just a productivity boost. It helps you to focus on the business logic over boilerplate and discover ideas you might not have otherwise considered, all from the comfort of your editor. Copilot is available now, and it's being used by hundreds of thousands of developers every day. And if you're a verified teacher, student, or maintainer of a popular open source project, it's completely free. In fact, roughly half of Copilot users receive Copilot for free as a result of this program. And as more developers have adopted Copilot, we've been happy to see how impactful it is in practice. For example, among developers who are using it with Python, aka my Pythonistas, 40% of the 40% of the code they write was actually synthesized by Copilot. We also ran a study with 95 developers, and we split them into 2 groups, and we asked everyone to write an HTTP server. And to our surprise, the group that used Copilot was able to complete the task 55% faster than the group that didn't. But beyond the developer excitement, we've also heard loud and clear that companies want an easy way to purchase Copilot for their entire team. So, we're excited to bring the benefits of Copilot to every organization with the release of Copilot for Companies, coming this December. This will enable you to manage licenses and policy from a central location using your existing GitHub organizations. So whether you prefer Visual Studio Code, IntelliJ, or Vim, developers and students alike are experiencing the amazing benefits that Copilot and AI assistants can provide. And we can't wait for you to try it out as well. GitHub is committed to ensuring that Copilot is truly available for everyone. So I want to give you a sneak peek of something we've been working on that takes the next step towards this goal. Watch this. Hey, GitHub, let's write some code. Import a graph plotting library, a function to analyze the sentiment of text with a free web service. Change it to return a Boolean.
whoa, we can just write a
A
code
function to plot an
from
array
the
of
command.
Booleans as a pie chart. an array of example text, a function to put it all together, call main. It's behind, sorry. Call main. Hey GitHub, run program. And that was Hey GitHub. With the power of your voice, we're excited to bring the benefits of Copilot to even more developers. GitHub is renewing its vision to be the home for all developers, and this is just one of the many steps we'll be taking to make that a reality. Hey GitHub is an experiment, and we'd love to get your feedback, so sign up now to get access. Hey GitHub, drop the beat.
With the new GitHub issues, planning and tracking is at the core of how high-performing development teams operate. And at GitHub, we believe developers deserve a planning tool that's centered around them, one that seamlessly integrates with their existing workflows, and more importantly, something they actually enjoy using. That's why we've enhanced projects in GitHub issues to be developer-first and truly adaptable. Here's a product backlog, where several teams across the product are working together to ship multiple features. Each view in this board shows a different perspective and is adaptable to the needs of whoever is using it. Our sprint planning lives as a board view, so we can visualize how work flows from one week to the next, while scope gives us a table view to quickly see items in every release stage. But what if we want to see how items track across dates? Previously, you'd have to leave projects and copy start and end dates for work into a spreadsheet or other tool. But today, we're introducing the private beta for Roadmap View, a native way to keep your stakeholders up to speed on what's being worked on, what's next, and how those items span across time. And you can even update your view from month to quarter to year. So as we dive into one of these features, you can see it's broken down into scopes using task lists. For this feature, we have 3 task lists: scoring, design, and boss updates. I think they forgot a design task here, though, for when the user fails the level, so let's add a draft task to remind them. Now, many tools hard code sub-issues or children to only support one level. But remember adaptability? With GitHub projects, we can have multiple levels. If I click into Save Score, we can see that it has its own task list, and that first task has its own set of tasks. I can traverse across this hierarchy from feature to scope to task to subtasks with ease. And the breadcrumb navigation lets me quickly go back to any level. So let's switch to our feature delivery project, which tracks the status of items about to be released. You can tell this is a different project because it has custom fields and unique views. For example, there's a progress field letting us know if anything's at risk of slipping. And even from this high-level view, we get insight into issue relationships with the tracks field, allowing us to scan for subtask progress. And if we move into our releases view, which is grouped by tracked by, we can see all the issues that roll up to a particular release. I'm so pleased to say you can join the waitlist to try this out today. And If I need to update my team's plans on the go, the GitHub mobile app now supports projects in iOS and Android, allowing me to assign items or update fields right from my phone. GitHub Issues not only adapts to your current planning processes, it encourages you and it enables you to evolve and iterate as you go. With over 100 new features and along with our new betas, now is the time to give GitHub Issues a try.
Sometimes I just want to dig right into the code to get my bearings without muddying up my local machine and cloning a bunch of random repositories. So let me show you a new code navigation experience we have in private beta to help with that. I've heard about this new fast-loading web framework, Fresh, based on Dino, but I haven't had a chance to play with it yet. Across all of GitHub, I can search by language and my keyword Dino. This chat app looks interesting, and it's based on the Fresh framework. Now, let's see if we can find this button, New Room, in the code. I type into our repository search, super fast, and look at that. There it was, so fast. Filters make it easy to find exactly what you need based on common criteria like language, path, or symbol. And we can also drill into a specific file. So now you can discover the context around the code and see answers to questions you didn't even know you had. But let's look at another tool that helps me roll up my sleeves and dig into the code, Codespaces. Codespaces are powerful developer environments in the cloud, spun up in seconds and completely configured for your project. The Codespaces dashboard has a curated list of templates to get you started quickly. Now, I've been wanting to play with Preact, but I don't want to risk breaking my local laptop installing a bunch of dependencies. Luckily, Codespaces has already done all of the configuration for me, so I can focus on learning and building, not setup. From the Preact template, in a single click, you can spin up a pre-configured cloud-based developer environment personalized with your themes and dot files. Index.js is already open, so I can simply make a change and get tinkering quickly. And there it is. Now, it might seem like magic, but the secret is config as code. The dev container JSON file defines how your project will build, display, and run. So every developer of this repository, every user, has the same delightful experience every time. Now remember, I didn't fork Preact. Templates let me get started quickly on my next project without needing to create a fork or repository first. Speaking of my next project, I've been wanting to explore Stable Diffusion, an AI model that allows you to generate images based on a prompt, but it doesn't run on my laptop yet. Luckily, GPUs for Codespaces are now in private preview, and not only that, I can choose which editor I use. I can now use Codespaces in VS Code or IntelliJ on my local desktop, or I can even open in Jupyter Lab. Now, this astronaut riding on a horse was cool, but what about that rainbow corgi in space? And in just a few seconds, I'm ready to make some AI. I know, it's so cute. I am ready to make some AI-generated art powered by my personal GPU in the cloud. Okay, that's a cute corgi, right? And just the image I need. Since becoming available last year, we've heard success stories from thousands of developers using Codespaces within teams and enterprise. But this is GitHub. We want to make the possibilities offered by Codespaces available to every developer. So today, I am thrilled to announce that Codespaces will be available for all GitHub users with up to 60 hours of free usage every month. The worst feeling as a developer is getting stuck before you can even get started. So use Codespaces to get in the flow and stay there.
Now I want to talk about the heart of GitHub, the open source community that powers our modern world. Open source developers build tools for the rest of us, so our job is to build the tools they need to succeed too. Over the last year, we've been hard at work to make a developer's daily community experience truly excellent. GitHub Discussions enables thousands of communities of all types to connect and build together. The GitHub profile is now fully customizable and celebrates your achievements, reflecting your unique developer life. And now, with our new privacy settings, you can control what you share online while still being able to contribute publicly to open source. And 3 years ago, we launched GitHub Sponsors to help fund the global team of volunteers that build open source software, the ones that we all depend on. Since the open source economy on GitHub has flourished, we've doubled the number of regions served by sponsors to 68, and all of you have contributed over $25 million to open source developers and projects. That's the power of community. It's made it possible for thousands of developers to pursue their passions and contribute to open source full-time. But we often hear, more developers want to take this leap, quit their jobs, work for the internet. GitHub wants to help. And we know that we need to build an open source economy on developers' terms. So I want to discuss 3 ways we're tackling this. First, projects need durable funding over the long term, a role that companies who depend on open source can and should play. We want to lead by example here, so we're supporting our own stack. This past summer, we contributed $500,000 to the dependencies that GitHub needs to run its own software. We funded 900 people across the world and allowed them to spend more time on their projects, fixing lingering bugs, patching that security flaw, or sketching out their next release. Let's hear from some of the developers.
I received the grant from GitHub around July this year, and it really motivated me to continue doing open source. It was my first sponsorship, so it really made me feel like you can do this maybe for a living in the long run, right?
GitHub opening up the sponsorships is what allowed me to get noticed.
P5.js is an open source JavaScript library that has more than 1.5 active million users. This is a job like 24/7. So being supported by different organizations, I think provide us the space to sometimes to take a break.
Corporate sponsorships are really important. Getting that recognition as far as like my career goes, it's one of the best things on my resume, no matter what I've launched or what I've done.
Nick, Chan, and Bran said it just right. Companies sponsoring open source means that many more developers can take a much-needed break, branch out into a new project, or jumpstart a career. This is exactly what we want to support. And we want to give developers more options on how they fund their work. With companies like these participating in sponsors, we know we can. Which brings me to our second step. Building a career in open source is uncharted territory. Who do you talk to first? What are you asking for your sponsorship? Where should I focus? Unlike most careers, there's no predictable path to follow. Last year, we launched an experiment in India called OS Grants. We gave 15 developers a simple grant that afforded them the time to focus on building their open source projects. And the results, a year later, are fantastic. As just one example, Peter Thomas used his grant to formally work on Karate Labs, which is a venture-backed startup today. We want to expand on this program globally, and that's why I'm proud to announce the GitHub Accelerator. We're going to fund 20.
Hello everyone. I guess this is enough for today. If you have any questions, I can just share the link of the watch party and you can complete it today. There is so many things GitHub has launched for us, and there are so many things you can learn from the GitHub. If you want to learn like what is GitHub and Git and GitHub, if you are beginner, I have attached the link in the chat box. I'll just reshare those links, and you can see the videos and you're gonna get the all of the doubts solved. Also, I'm going to share the GitHub Codespaces and the GitHub Universe official site with you guys, so you can watch it after whenever you get time. So if you have any questions, you can ask, and then we can conclude the meet for today. You can raise your hands, and then you can ask your question. Any beginner friendly questions you can ask also. Don't worry about. Don't hesitate to ask the question. There are so many great points are there, so you can ask the question. Okay. Okay. You in college, bro. Okay. In college, I probably meet you at 4 p.m. Okay. Let's see. So, do you have any questions? No. So let's uh, add your question or add what you think about the GitHub and everything, and in the chat box. And if you Akash, let's conclude the session. Let's conclude the session. Right? Can GitHub
Yeah,
give a
man.
opportunity? So uh, uh, if you work for are you going to say like can we get a job in the GitHub? Yes, of course you get a job in the GitHub, but you have to do so much of hard work, DSA, like after that open source contributions and so many things you have to do. So yeah, GitHub alternative posted opportunity. There are the opportunity for campus students. It is GitHub campus experts. You can apply that to also. It opens around in February and August. No, yeah, February and August. Other than that, we'll just giving you the short introduction of what is MLSA for the newbies. So Akash is going to do that. Okay, let's go ahead, Akash. What is MLSA? Tell me what is MLSA.
So, guys, basically, we are a community fan. So, we are in direct contact with Microsoft, and whatever new things come or whatever technology is there, we are here to introduce them to you and help you become better at those technologies and skill development sort of stuff. So, what do you think?
Cool then. Thank you so much, Akash, for joining, and you have been such a great co-host, and you have like given the introduction about GitHub Postgres. It's really good. Uh, but somehow I guess there are so many beginners are there, so they might get problem for using it. But let's hope for the best. I have suggested the GitHub videos to them, and they'll just learn, and after that they can implement on their personal projects. Okay. So thank you so much for joining, guys, and we'll meet tomorrow. If you have any questions, you can still ask, or Akash is also. I'll add Akash in the community group. So if you want any questions, you can ask there also. Okay, cool then.
Thank you for having me, guys. We'll
Yeah.
have a longer
Bye,
session
guys.
some next time. Bye.
Yeah. Bye, bye.
Bye.
Bye.